we will talk about ferrimagnetic materials in this lecture. The objectives of this lecture are describing the properties of different types of ferrimagnetic materials and the ferrimagnetic Curie temperature. In ferrimagnetic materials, magnetic moments in two different sides are in opposite directions. They have different magnitudes. So there is a net magnetic moment in ferrimagnetic materials. As we increase the temperature, the magnetic moments rotate randomly. Above the Curie temperature, the net magnetization is 0. So the material will have paramagnetic properties above the Curie temperature. Here you can see a graph between magnetization and the temperature of a ferrimagnetic material. As we increase the temperature, magnetization decreases and finally it reaches 0 at the Curie temperature theta F. Below the Curie temperature, material is a ferrimagnetic material. Above the Curie temperature, the material is a paramagnetic material. In this table, you can see some ferrimagnetic materials and their Curie temperatures and the saturated value of the magnetization at 0 temperature. The susceptibility is small and positive for ferrimagnetic materials. There are two types of ferrites called spinel ferrite and hexagonal ferrite. Spinel ferrite has cubic structures. We will talk about the cubic structure in the next slides. There are two different sites in spinel ferrite. One is called tetrahedral site, other one is called octahedral sites. So magnetic moments occupy tetrahedral and octahedral sites in ferrimagnetic materials. The magnetic moments in tetrahedral and octahedral sites are in opposite directions and they have different magnitudes. Tetrahedral site is surrounded by 8 oxygen ions. Octahedral site is surrounded by 16 oxygen ions. There are two types of spinel ferrites called normal spinel and inverse spinel. In normal spinel structure, all the ions occupy octahedral sites. In inverse spinel structure, only half of ions occupy octahedral sites. The other half occupies tetrahedral sites. We can write the spinel ferrite in the formula MFe2O4. Here M is a metal ion, but lithium ferrite does not fit into this formula. In this table, you can see how ions and metal ions occupy tetrahedral and octahedral sites in normal spinel and inverse spinel structures. There are some vacant sites in both type of structures. In this table, you can see how we calculate the net magnetic moment. In Fe3O4, the magnetic moments of Fe3 plus ions are in opposite direction, so they cancel each other. Only the magnetic moment of Fe2 plus contributes to the magnetization. So the net magnetic moment is 4 mu b. In nickel ferrite, the magnetic moments of Fe3 plus are in opposite directions, so they cancel each other. Only the magnetic moment of nickel 2 plus contributes to the magnetization, so the net magnetic moment is 2 mu b. In zinc ferrite, the zinc does not have any unpaired electrons, so the net magnetic moment of zinc is 0. The magnetic moments of ions are in opposite directions, so they cancel each other, so the net magnetic moment of zinc ferrite is 0. If we can easily magnetize a material, it is called a soft magnetic material. Spinel ferrite is a soft magnetic materials. The spins align antiparallel to each other due to indirect exchange interaction through oxygen ions. In spinel ferrite, it is easier to magnetize material in some directions in the structure. Those directions are called easy directions. The direction perpendicular to the easy direction is called the halt direction. When there is no external field, majority of spins align along easy direction, so we can easily magnetize the material along that direction. Easy axis of nickel ferrite and lithium ferrite are along the cubic diagonal or 111 direction. If we draw a line from one corner of the cube to the opposite corner of the cube, that is called a cubic diagonal. Easy axis of cobalt ferrite is along one of the cubic edges. Because there are more than one easy direction in spinel ferrite, they are called non-uniaxial materials. We will talk about the cubic structures in the next slide. In this picture you can see cubic edges and body diagonal. Here only one cubic edge is given, but you can draw cubic edges along all the edges of the cube. There are 4 body diagonals in the cubic structure. Some examples for hexagonal ferrites are barium ferrite and strontium ferrite. If it is difficult to magnetize a material, it is called a hard magnetic material. Hexagonal ferrite is a hard magnetic material. If there is only one easy direction for magnetization, it is called a uniaxial magnetic material. Hexagonal ferrite is a uniaxial magnetic material. The magnetic moments of ions are either parallel or antiparallel to the z-axis. So the magnetic easy direction of hexagonal ferrite is along the z-axis. The diagram of the hexagonal structure is given on slide number 17 in this lecture. Because there is no unpaired electrons in strontium or barium ions, strontium or barium ions don't contribute to magnetic moment. Only the ions contribute to the magnetic moment. The magnetic moments of 16 ions are parallel to z-axis, and other 8 ions have magnetic moment antiparallel to z-axis. On the other hand, the magnetic moment of ion plus 3 is equal to mu, that is equal to 5 mu b. Because 16 magnetic moments are parallel to z-axis and 8 magnetic moments are antiparallel to z-axis, the net magnetic moment is 16 minus 8 times mu, but mu is equal to 5 mu b. Then the net magnetic moment is equal to 8 times 5 mu b, that is equal to 40 mu b. Each unit cell has 2 molecules, so the net magnetic moment of one molecule is equal to 40 mu b divided by 2, that is equal to 20 mu b. Here you can see a picture of a hexagonal lattice. The basal plane of the lattice is a hexagon. Here the z-axis is vertical. 16 magnetic moments are parallel to c-axis, 8 magnetic moments are antiparallel to c-axis. Now consider magnetite. For iron 2 plus, S is equal to 2 and the magnetic moment is equal to 4 mu b. For iron 3 plus, S is equal to 5 over 2 and magnetic moment is equal to 5 mu b. So here we don't consider the orbital magnetic moment. So L is equal to 0. We will prove both these equations in the next slide. Equation mu equals 2 S mu b was given in 4th lecture. When S is equal to 2, mu is equal to 2 times 2 times mu b, that is equal to 4 mu b. When S is equal to 5 over 2, mu is equal to 2 times 5 over 2 times mu b, that is equal to 5 mu b. Sublattice A is FeO. So there's only one iron in sublattice A. Sublattice B is Fe2O3. So there are two iron ions in sublattice B. So when you find the net or effective magnetic moment, we have to add 4 mu b to 2 times 5 mu b. So the net magnetic moment is equal to 14 mu b. The experimental value of the magnetic moment is 4.1 mu b. There's a difference between the theoretical value and the experimental value. This suggests that the spin arrangement is not exactly parallel or antiparallel. 2 mu b's are antiparallel to each other and cancel each other. So only iron plus 2 contribute to the net magnetic moment. The formula of ferrite can be given as MoFe2O3. Here M is a metal. It can be cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc, magnesium, iron or cadmium.